It's the greatest Michigan athlete, the GOAT Michigan athlete, who was born and raised in the state of Michigan. So let's talk really quickly about who you can't include. Tom Brady went to the University of Michigan. We know he's the GOAT.
From California.
He's a California boy.
Yep. Out.
Out. All systems go on GOATQUEST. We're crack-a-lackin' once again at the Downtown Pourhouse. Welcome one and all. This is the establishment. The publican James Sullivan and his ATS advisors are bringing us.
Did you say Republican?
The publican.
Oh, publican.
Right? A proprietor of a pub is a publican.
No kidding.
That's what Sully is.
Wow.
So he also is the owner of ATS Advisors, and of course Jean Pilon runs the Patrick Financial Group, bringing us to you on this GOATQUEST episode. And we're starting out, Mr. Beer, with a lot of bad news because your Detroit Pistons failed to make it to the promised land, which we were hoping was an Eastern Conference final against the Knicks, who they were 3-0 against in the regular season, handled easily, but could not get past the Cleveland Cavaliers in a Game 7 on their home floor at LCA. How disappointed were you?
I was disappointed. They just couldn't put the ball in the net. I mean, they just had a bad game. Cade Cunningham didn't have at least 20 points. I think he had 15 points. Jalen Durham's got something wrong going with him.
Yeah, the confidence is lost
there. The confidence, and people start talking about him not being able to make a layup, right? Even the head coach was kind of hooting on him a little bit.
Benched him the game before, right?
Benched him the game before, yeah. And he's supposed to get $50 million a year.
No way. And Sam Washington said the same thing. In your absence, when Sam came aboard, Sam said, there's no way Duran gets a max deal. But he's 22 years old.
Yeah.
I did like the resilience in him coming back from the benching.
Sure.
22 years old. Most NBA players hit their stride when they're 26, 27.
Yeah, I'd say that's about the peak for most athletes.
So
seems.
The question is, has he shown you enough in his young career to warrant close to a max deal? Does he get in the 30s, right? Because the Pistons have a lot of cap room. There's a lot of room to play with. They don't have to re-sign Uncle Toby. He does not have to come back. There's a bunch of places on this roster for them to save money. Duncan Robinson, they can cut before January and save $20 million.
Yeah. You know the old saying, it's never going to get better after you get married.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing when he gets that kind of money, even $40 million, $30 million, whatever, not a max deal. If you're already having problems with him, I think you got to let him go. I know we don't have a big man. We don't have one, right, besides him.
Well, we have Paul Reed and Isaiah Stewart, but neither of them are premier talent.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've both done some things that you like Stewart defensively, you like Reed offensively.
He's getting a little older, though, right? You know, he's been around for a while, so.
I love Dennis Jenkins. I think there's more to be had from him. So I'm not as worried about the guard slot. What I'm tremendously worried about is that you have a starter who is one of the best defenders in the NBA, who literally is a liability every time he touches the basketball, and that's Asar Thompson. I've never seen someone so inept on one side of the floor, and so damn good on the other side of the floor.
Yeah. I mean, that was. Would you say that's all season, or was that just the last few games that you watched?
It got worse as the season. That's what I'm saying. He got worse offensively as the season went on. It got to the point at the end where I was worried if he dribbled more than 3 times that he was going to turn the ball over.
Turn the ball over. I watched a couple games too that I thought that. Don't know.
I mean, that's a starter.
Yeah.
Duncan Robinson, hot and cold. Tobias Harris, hot and cold. I mean, you just have too many guys that are not consistent enough on the offensive end of the floor to trust them in a Game 7 like that when you're going against Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Mobley, Allen. I mean, guys who are putting the ball in the net.
Can't disagree with you at all. I mean, the bottom line is, we lost by what, 31 points.
Oh,
we lost the game. 31 points.
In your own building.
In your own building.
And
Game 7.
And if it was a competitive game, I think you could have had a lot of people with a nice round of applause, even if they lost the game. It was a hell of a season.
Sure.
I love Bickerstaff. I think he's done all the right things from a coaching perspective, especially when you look at a guy like Atkinson on the other side, the guy who beat him, who then goes to New York and keeps all of his timeouts in the fourth quarter and lets the Knicks come back from 22 down to beat him, and he doesn't call a single timeout in an 8-minute span where they give up 15 points of the lead. I mean, Bickerstaff coaching that game, the Cavaliers win that game.
I hate to say it, but if there's any blame, it's got to be on Cade. 15 points, and we relied on him all year in the clutch to make a shot or to draw a foul or to whatever. And he's great on defense too.
He looked fatigued, didn't he?
Well, he was hurt. He was hurt before the playoffs started.
And he looked like there was a couple of those careless turnovers again. The passes to nowhere.
Yes.
And I do think that
he looked like he's in pain still. He's not healed.
The minutes that he puts on and the amount of pressure that they put on his shoulders, it
wore on him.
It came home to roost.
Yeah. You remember that running back in college that had to carry the ball 50 times a game?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yes. Sooner or later, you get hurt.
We have a GOATQuest feature sponsored today by James Sullivan and his ATS Advisors, a CPA firm serving the people behind the numbers.
Let's get away from the Pistons. Let's slough it off,
okay.
Right? Let's get rid of what we had hoped the Pistons, because what we're seeing in the NBA outside of the Pistons is some of the most special individual contributions that I have ever seen in my life as a fan. You are a former college basketball player. People don't know that you played college basketball before you played college football.
That's really not true.
You also won the Gillette Fort Lauderdale Beach Slam Dunk Contest in 1992 in spring break. You're a dunk contest champion. In your opinion, have you ever seen anything like what Wembanyama can do with the basketball from the 3-point line, 2 strides and dunk?
I think the most, it's not like he's hitting a rare 3 here and there. He's averaging 25 points a game.
He goes 42 and 21.
Yeah, that's crazy.
As a 20-something year young
7'2", what is
7'5".
Is he 7'5"?
7'4 and a half.
I don't know. I've just seen so many of those guys. Well, you look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but he was an outside shooter. But so many of those.
He wasn't that athletic.
No,
it's been since Wilt Chamberlain.
No.
Wilt Chamberlain was a track athlete. He did the long jump. He did the high jump. He ran the 4x100. I mean, he was a sick athlete. It hasn't been since Wilt Chamberlain since we've seen somebody like Wemby.
Yeah, it just scares me when you see those guys that are so long. I just, especially when they're playing outside the box. I mean, I just think they get injured too much.
It isn't just Wembanyama.
But yeah, no, I know he's good.
Castle had a dunk the other night. His head almost hit the rim.
Yeah.
Vassell, the 3-point shooter, he can get up and down the floor. I mean, this Spurs team, and then you switch over to the other side, SGA is as silky as you can be. The whole team is deep on that side. I mean, they go 8-9 players deep coming off the bench, hitting threes.
Yeah.
I mean, the Western Conference is the finals.
Yeah.
Those 2 teams are the best 2 teams. I mean, whoever wins between the Cavaliers and the New York Knicks, they better strap it on because they're going to get smoked.
You really think they'd beat the Knicks that bad?
Smoked.
Really?
Yes. I mean, is there a chance that Jalen Brunson walks on water and
scores 40 and hits all of his threes
and speaks in tongues and figures out how to levitate? But that's what it's going to take.
Speaks in tongues.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take miracle level bullshit.
Yeah.
For the Knicks or the Cavaliers to find their way past either one of the 2 teams that come out of the West.
I agree. I think the Knicks could give them a run, but yeah, I mean, it's really all about, especially in the playoffs, these guys all staying healthy.
So let's talk about the Knicks, because we gave a lot of love there to OKC Club and to the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Their 2 games have been absolutely phenomenal, but we haven't talked about a 22-point fourth quarter comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Right, where Donovan Mitchell has basically done for 3 quarters whatever he wanted to do against them.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Brunson, the burner, decides to not miss a shot in a quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, James Harden got abused so badly that child services was at the locker room, right? This was a debacle of a beatdown.
Well, he's a kind of a defensive liability anyway.
But how do you not switch off? This is what I'm talking about with Kenny Atkinson. Like, not only does he not call timeout, how doesn't he isolate? Just throw Harden down to somebody on the baseline. Don't even put him up near the top of the key.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know why he made that decision. But
I'm looking at a New York Knicks club that relies on one guy to work miracles. Now, Bridges had a nice fourth quarter,
like the Detroit Pistons.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what that's where I think.
When you're a one-man show, and you have a bad night, it's going to be rough.
So, from one bit of bad news in the Pistons to Major League Baseball.
Okay.
We're going to keep this very quick.
Too many injuries.
It's just
stupid. Do you see the head coach talk?
Yeah.
He's just
AJ Hinch is beside himself.
We're doing what we can do. Everybody's hurt.
Verlander, Valdez, obviously Reese Olson and Jackson Jobe from the beginning of the year. Flaherty can't find his ass with both hands.
And what was your prediction?
I know. It's panning out to
and
be.
You bought season tickets.
It's panning out to be the worst prediction of my prognostication.
How many games have you gone to?
I've gone to one now.
Yeah. That might be the only one.
It is so pathetic right now.
I know.
I mean, they have lost after today, what is it, 14 out of 16?
I think so, yeah.
14 out of 16. Before this season started, if you looked at the Detroit Tigers roster
and said if the guys from last year play like they did. I would have told you
they've lost 14 out of 16. I would have told you they won't lose 14 games in the first 4 months.
Yeah.
And they've lost 14 out of 16.
And you can't go. It's the same thing we're talking about. You can't go without Skubal. You can't go without Skubal.
Well, Skubal's out, but so is everybody else.
I know.
Javier Baez, Parker Meadows, Gleyber Torres, all these guys. McKinstry's finally back. He can't hit his weight. Torkelson can't hit his weight. You got a bunch of guys out there that are just barely efficient at getting on base one time in a series.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at other than Kevin McGonigal and Colt Keith and Riley Green, right? Take those 3 guys out of the lineup.
Take Riley Green out.
The rest of the lineup is milk toast at best. Jake Rogers should be embarrassed every time he has to put the catcher's gear on. I don't care how good he is defensively. You cannot bat 147 and wear a Major League Baseball uniform. What in God's name is AJ? We got Dingler sitting there. I would catch Dingler every night except, I would take him 10 games in a row before I put Rogers behind the plate. And you got Briseno and these other guys in the minor leagues. Bring somebody up. A bag of balls can hit better than 147.
Isn't it kind of a different sport too? Like we talk about basketball players getting cold, baseball players that can't hit. If you're a good football player, very rarely do you have a bad game. They're there, but if you're Barry Sanders,
you don't throw many duds out there.
You don't throw many duds.
No,
and maybe it's just the sport. Right, you just get cold in basketball.
Part of it is the scarcity of performance, right? Because in football, you got 17 weeks to shine. That's it, right? Your scarcity of performance, you better get your shit together, or 1/15 of your year just went out the window, right? Whereas in baseball, these sons of guns are playing 162 games.
Or basketball.
Basketball, what is it? 82 games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the reason why these letdowns don't happen as often and you don't see this barren stretch is because the performance scarcity is so important in football.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Just interesting to think of different sports. And
so we're still hoping, it's early. If they're within 8 games of the Guardians.
Which they are right now, right? Are they 8 back, 7.5
I think after today it'll be 8.
Okay.
Maybe 8.5. If they can remain 8 back by the All-Star break, I'll say, okay, we get everybody back.
We got a chance.
Got a chance to make a run. If not, if it's 10 back at the All-Star break, I think they start looking at who they're going to broom and who they're going to recap, because they got a lot of guys on big contracts that are gnarly if they don't figure out, especially Skubal.
Yeah.
You got to figure out what you're going to do there.
This is your money we're talking about. This is your livelihood. It's your blood, sweat, and tears. You don't want to leave that to just anybody. You want John Pelon and Patrick Financial Group. They're registered investment advisors. And if you want to be the GOAT at whatever it is in your life that you're doing today, you need Patrick Financial Group to keep your nest egg growing. So get your money right with John Pelon and Patrick Financial Group.
The NHL.
NHL.
All right, we have 4 teams left.
Yeah.
We now know that it's the Montreal Canadiens, Sean Belizean's favorite team. The Canadiens.
Is Sean from there? Is he from Montreal?
I think his dad is from there.
Okay.
I think Sean. I know that that's where the fandom comes from. Is from Sean's old man.
Okay.
But I can't be sure that he's a Montreal native. That he's a habitant. Right.
Habitant?
Habitant.
I don't even know.
That's why they call them the Habs.
I mean,
because
how do you
habitant is
what's
Canadian.
Wrong? What's wrong with you?
Well, I pick up worthless knowledge.
You do better than any mop.
And I proliferate it. I propagate it.
Yeah.
So Newhook gets the goal in overtime. Second time he had an overtime winner, so they sneak by Buffalo. Sad day for Buffalo. The fans waiting a long time for that. I really wanted to see them cash in, especially Josh Norris from Oxford, Michigan, Dwayne's son from TPH, local kid who played very well, by the way. Would have been great to see Buffalo sneak by, but the Montreal Canadiens were a little bit too much for them, and they're a very balanced club, but they're going into a buzzsaw.
When's the last time Montreal was in the Final Four?
It's not been that long.
Yeah, it has. Montreal?
Yeah, it's not like forever. It's not like Buffalo.
It's like 15 years.
Yeah, but again,
Buffalo's what, 30?
Yeah,
who knows?
Remember, the Wings haven't made the playoffs in 10 years now.
I know.
Right? So if we want to put barren straits on the map, we have to look ourselves in the mirror. But when I look at, and I picked Carolina from the very beginning, so this is very self-serving. Carolina Hurricanes were my preseason pick. I think they're still the buzzsaw. I think they're going to blow right through Montreal coming off of 7 games, and I think it's maybe a 5-game series. On the other side, though, VGK spoiling in the first game what everybody thought was the runaway champion in the Colorado Avalanche, the way they played during the season. So what's your take? Who do you see coming out of these 4 left?
I like the Golden Knights.
Well, Mitch Marner is going to be able to keep doing this. He got 19, 20 points now in the playoffs?
Yeah, I just think they're very physical. I like their back end. Their defensemen are good. And a lot of time, not like I know anything about hockey, but their third line and second line everybody's got a good first line, right? When you get to the second, third, fourth line, that's when you start having problems. So I was watching it with someone, and they were telling me that.
Yeah, well, the someone that you're referring to, I'm going to assume, is the new general manager of the Detroit women's professional hockey team.
Yes.
Manon Rhéaume, the only female to play in an NHL game, exhibition game for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Am I correct?
You are correct. So.
And if we were doing the greatest athletes in the history of the province of Quebec, on the women's side, we would certainly be talking about Manon Rhéaume. No question.
She's got a statue in Quebec City.
I have seen it.
Yes.
I have seen
she's
photos.
About this big.
I have seen photos.
But she was the first woman to play in that tournament. Blah, I don't even know what that
Very
means.
nice statement online from Chris Illich, the owner, commending both her career and her worthiness to take this role. So congratulations to your significant other.
Thank you. She's earned it. She works real hard and very humble, and she's going to do great.
Yeah, I believe that's true. So NHL, you think the Golden Knights are coming out of it. I think it's Carolina. I'm going to stick with my preseason pick. All right, that brings us to the PGA Championship. Yeah. I do want to touch on this one really briefly because Aaron Ray did something I've told you off the air that I haven't seen in a long time. A guy who you haven't heard of, right? He's not a household name. Coming out of the UK. Looking at the back nine, he's got a little bit of a lead. I think he had a 1-stroke lead at turning the corner, and this son of a gun said, forget backing into it, forget playing it safe. He took all the shots. He played the ball right down the middle of the fairway off the tee, swang for the fences, hit the bomb putts.
He swang for the fences.
I mean, 300. Did you see the drive? The 338-yard drive on 15.
But they all hit it that far.
I mean, come on.
They do. But anyway.
But he's not. What I'm saying is that's not his norm.
That's not his norm.
Right? So when you get a guy who hits a ball 338 yards and he's not a big hitter, you know he's letting the dog eat.
Did you see him when he hit the putt, the 70-foot putt?
Oh, it was unbelievable. 68-foot putt.
Whatever it was. He goes, that's it.
He kept it cool as a cucumber.
He sat there for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything. The crowd's going crazy.
His caddy, did you see his caddy had to give him the bump up.
I think he was surprised.
His wife is a professional golfer.
Yeah.
He thanked her for being his motivation and inspiration. But what a back nine! Slammed the door on Rory McIlroy and the whole rest of the field.
$3.8 million he won.
It's a nice check.
That's a nice check
for a weekend of golf.
What
the hell?
It's called the lifetime of pain.
What were any of us thinking going into football and these other garbage sports?
I don't know.
We could have played golf all weekend for millions of dollars.
No kidding.
Because it's so easy.
Oh, it's easy.
Right? It's so easy. Any one of us could have just done it. Right?
It is probably one of the hardest sports to play. I can't imagine. It's so fickle, and every little thing that you change.
I suck at golf on my best day.
So do I.
So
do I.
Yeah. Good job, Aaron Ray, PGA champion, and that was in right outside of Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
That's where they played this one this year.
Yeah.
And the last but not least, since it's been a long recap for us here in the month of May, the first female trainer wins the Kentucky Derby, Sherry DeVoe, and Golden Tempo. The story of the Derby, right, was the two brothers riding against each other down the stretch, comes from 8 lengths back in the stretch to beat his own brother, Jose Ortiz, against Irad Ortiz. Irad was the points leader this season, and he gets beat by his younger brother in the final stretch to win the Kentucky Derby on Golden
The best part
Tempo.
was the video. I don't know how many times I watched it.
The overhead with the drone?
No, I watched that. But
the drone shot has changed horse racing.
The video of Cherie sitting there. She almost passed out.
Yeah, where she got fired up.
No, she was just happy. She was happy he was coming from behind. Then she's like, oh, my God, he's going to win. Oh, my God, he's going to win. It was really cool.
Lost her mind, and rightfully so. So, yes, the Kentucky Derby, Golden Tempo takes it home. That is our last update for current events before we move into the feature of the show.
The GOAT.
The GOAT debate, right? So the GOAT debate is brought to you again. Faro Imaging. Don't forget all of your graphic and print needs. Go to Livonia, Michigan. All large format printing. You want graphics on your truck, on your RV, on your plane, of course, on your G5. You put whatever you want with Faro Imaging. They will take care of you. And you know who takes care of them? Who takes care of them is Patrick Financial Group, right?
Yeah.
Investment advisor John Pilon from Montreal. ATS Advisors for all your accounting needs, the CPA firm for the people behind the numbers.
Yes.
Don't forget about that. That's James Sullivan. Those are the sponsors that are bringing us the GOAT list as we kind of bring this show to its crescendo. So, this is a big one. This is a big one because it's our home state. And there's rules, okay? There gots to be some law. There are rules to this. It's the greatest Michigan athlete, the GOAT Michigan athlete, who was born and raised in the state of Michigan. So let's talk really quickly about who you can't include, who you cannot put in this vertical. Tom Brady went to the University of Michigan. We know he's the GOAT.
From California.
He's a California boy.
Yep.
Out. Barry Sanders, we know he's possibly the greatest running back of all time. He played his whole career in Detroit. He lived in Detroit. His son went to Birmingham Groves High School and played. Not from Detroit, right? Oklahoma State, not a Detroiter from a born and raised standpoint. Not a Michigander. Not a Detroiter either. All right. But one of our favorite sons and one of your favorite teammates.
Yes.
What was his favorite candy in the locker room?
All of them.
Yeah, but what would you tell me? He
used to have a big bag of sugar candy.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly if it has a name. Oh, the
rainbow colored.
What?
Rainbow colored. You told me Skittles. You told me he could eat Skittles nonstop for 2 hours in a film section.
Skittles. But he always had these sugar candies. He'd sit there and eat. I don't even know what they were.
All right.
Didn't have a wrapper on them.
When you told me the story, it was Skittles. So evolve your flavor, my friend. All right. So we have no Barry. He's out. Some other ones. Gordie Howe, right? Gordie Howe, Detroit Red Wing. He's an Ontario boy, born and raised. Didn't come to Detroit until he was 19 years old. So that's a no-go for Gordie Howe. Same with Nick Lidstrom, arguably one of the greatest defensemen of all time. He's from Sweden. So he's a no-fly zone. Couple more, though, that are
close?
That are close, but no cigar. You know the one I'm going for?
No.
What's the one that was born in Michigan? Definitely the GOAT in their sport, but wasn't raised in Michigan because she, my hint, left here when she was probably 4 or 5-ish years old and moved to Southern California.
His mother?
No, this is a female athlete who is, between her and one other person, definitely the two GOATs of their sport.
I absolutely have no idea.
Serena Williams was born in Saginaw, Michigan.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Serena Williams, I mean, most people would say she's the greatest of all time.
Sure.
I mean, some old school people might say, well, Margaret Court actually won 24 majors, more majors than Serena, but Margaret Court doesn't want to play Serena Williams.
No.
I can guarantee you that. She doesn't want to play Serena.
No.
All right, so that's another one. I'll give you a couple more from a combat sport standpoint. There's guys like Muhammad Ali, who lived the whole twilight years of his life in Berrien Springs,
right?
Michigan.
Grand Rapids, yeah.
Joe Louis, who most of his career was spent in Detroit, the Brown Bomber. He was born in Alabama. Ali was born in Kentucky. So none of them count, but that's a great segue. Boxing, because I'm going to give you my first grouping of greatest of all time.
Okay.
And I'm going to stay in the female side of the gender bracket with Clarissa Shields, the 2-time Olympic gold medalist, the only women's 2-time Olympic gold medalist in their weight class from Flint, Michigan. So remember, we work our way up. I'm not saying.
So what are we doing? The top 10?
Yeah, let's say that Clarissa is in the top 10.
Okay.
Right? Clarissa Shields from Flint, Michigan. They made a movie about her, for God's sake. She is a 2-time Olympic champion and, did whatever she wanted in her weight class as a professional afterwards.
Okay. I mean, I think I'd start with Rick Leach. He's from Flint. Played at Michigan.
Michigan
Remember
quarterback,
that? Yeah.
Yes.
Probably in the 80s.
If you go Rick Leach, you got to immediately go over to the guy from Michigan State who was the same era. You can't do Rick Leach without Kirk Gibson from Waterford.
Oh, he's
Michigan.
on there. He's on there.
Michigan State football player, Michigan football player, Leach.
Detroit Tiger, yeah.
And of course, they both went to play for the Detroit Tigers.
Yep.
Gibson having a much more prolific career than Rick Leach, even though they both started out as college football players.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting story.
Yeah, I'd start there at number 10. Joe DeLamielleure from Centerline.
Oh, it's a great one.
Yeah.
Great one. Centerline. Was he Centerline St. Clement or Centerline High?
I don't know.
I think he was Centerline St. Clement.
Okay.
But
played for the
DeLamielleure,
Bills and the Browns.
Like the Electric Company, blocked for O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
One of the greatest offensive lines in history.
Played at Michigan State, was all Big Ten, all that stuff.
If you had DeLamielleure versus Jake Long as offensive linemen, if we're going the best offensive lineman from Michigan.
Well, Jake Long was tough. I mean, would he play 10 or 11 years in the NFL? Started, was all Big Ten at Michigan. They're pretty similar.
Early first round
pick. I mean, obviously he's from our era, actually.
Yes.
And I'd probably pick Long, but I didn't see DeLamielleure.
Of course,
play
his younger
in
brother
college.
Joe Long won the Gene Upshaw Award
He played at
for
Wayne
State.
Yeah.
On the Division II side. So 2010, 2011,
Yeah.
they went to the national championship
Yeah.
game with Joe Long.
That was 16
Yeah,
years
lost
ago.
the national championship game to Pittsburgh State, the Gorillas, one of the great
right.
nicknames in college football.
That's right.
All right, so I think it's kicked over to me now.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay with you in football. I'm going to throw some names at you. Sauce Gardner, Larry Foote, Bart Scott, all PSL guys, great NFL football players, but I'm going to land at one that left Wayne State in a bit of a kerfuffle. Tyrone Wheatley from Dearborn Heights, Robichaud, arguably the best high school football player that ever played in the state of Michigan.
I do remember he played for
Dearborn Heights,
Robichaud. Yeah,
All Big Ten, did whatever he wanted at Michigan for 2 years, 8 years, probably his best years with the Raiders.
I want to say it was like 10 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I mean, how can you say anything? It wasn't a good experience for Wayne State football, but that's okay. We're not talking about Wayne State football.
We're not. Hell of a football player. The one that people probably forget about that should be higher in the top 10, maybe even talking about 6, 7, 8, is Paul Krause. Paul Krause is from Flint, Michigan. For those of you who don't know Paul Krause, he is the all-time leader for interceptions in the history of the NFL. He had 81 picks. And people don't even remember that Paul Krause was an NFL football player. You walk down the street and say, "Yeah, you remember Paul? Yeah,
from Flint.
You remember Paul Krause? Yeah. You have to be a hardcore, probably 55-year-old or plus to remember Paul Krause.
Yeah,
hell of a football player.
I mean, I think he also has to remember Derek Jeter. I mean, he grew up in Kalamazoo.
Not born in Michigan. Derek Jeter raised a great call out. Raised in Michigan from the time he was 4 years old, went to high school at Kalamazoo.
Where was he
born? Born in New Jersey or New York? New York or New Jersey?
Okay.
Is it Peanut Gallery? Is it New Jersey? New Jersey? New Jersey? Yes. All right. So, but that's a hell of a call out because there are definitely a whole generation of people who would say that after Babe Ruth, the best Yankee is Derek Jeter, right?
Yeah.
Even with Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra and the rest of them, there are people of a generation that think Derek Jeter hung the moon.
Okay.
So you're going to go there. I'm going to switch over to St. Cecilia because most of the list of the greatest athletes in the history of Michigan could all be baked down to what Sam Washington, Dick Vitale, the St. Cecilia program in Detroit gave birth to George Gervin, Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, the John Longs, the Terry Durods, the Earl Curitons, guys who won multiple NBA championships, Spencer Haywood, who won the Olympics, the ABA, and the NBA championship, and was MVP in all three. I mean, there are so many guys who came through St. Cecilia in that summer league program that you could just take that list and it would be pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't say the big one because I'm saving the big one
Okay.
for the end of the list, but there's another guy who played summer AAU and won an undefeated championship with St. Cecilia who we will hold on to from the Lansing area. Hint, hint.
I know who you're talking
nudge,
about.
Nudge,
I
Yeah.
think I know what you're talking. I also have Floyd Mayweather. He's got to be on here, right?
I would argue that since we're jumping up now, I would argue that Floyd Mayweather is top 3.
Has to be.
Because pound for
Has to be.
pound, there are many people who say he's the best fighter of all time.
Never lost.
Right. Never lost. Now, the criticism is he didn't fight most guys at their pinnacle, at their heyday, and he wasn't a knockout artist. He kind of played defensive boxing and did a little bit of run and hide in the first, tire you out, and then outpoint you in the last
You
3
don't like his
rounds.
style? Who cares? He never lost.
You know where Floyd's from?
Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Yep. And his father was a hell of a boxer there before him.
Yep.
So if we stay in boxing for a minute, we can also talk about the impact of the Kronk Gym, right? We've been talking about the Kronk Gym. We're working on a documentary with Same Page Entertainment with Jalen Rose and Tom Gores' new company. Paul Body and John Lepak, the new leadership at Kronk Gym, are helping us along with Hilmer Kenty, the first world champion from the Kronk Gym. But Detroit had a lot of sway in Olympic boxing in that era. Frank Tate won a gold medal. Steve McCrory won a gold medal. Emmanuel Stewart coached a lot. Terrell Biggs. And of that group, Evander Holyfield, of that group, a lot of Olympic medalists, especially from the 1984 games, came through Detroit, Michigan, and were part of that history. So I'm gonna James Lights Out Tony,
Yeah.
Ann Arbor and Detroit.
Yeah.
He's one that Chris Bird from Flint, heavyweight champion of the world. All these guys, in one way, shape, or form, were touched by the excellence of the training of Emmanuel Stewart. So shout out and rest in peace, Emmanuel Stewart. He made huge contributions to training some of our greatest Michigan athletes.
Sure.
Who's your next?
I'm going to jump back to hockey. Mike Modano. Livonia guy. What are we on, like number 3 now? Number 4?
We're moving up to Mike Modano, huh?
Yeah, I'm going
So
with
Mike
Mike
Modano gets the nod over. You want to run down your other list of hockey players? You got any more on there?
I don't have any more on there.
Al Iafrate, Brian Rafalski, Brian Rolston, Mark Howe, Gordie's son, who also got an Olympic medal. How about today? Still playing. Ian Cole, Zach Werenski, Dylan Larkin.
Yeah.
All pretty darn good athletes.
They're all from here. Yeah, I mean, and most of the guys, even when you go around CompuWare Arena in the off season, there's 30 NHL players there, and
amazing. How
probably
many?
20 are all-stars.
Yeah, and of course the Hughes brothers again would be disqualified for
They're up in Orchard Lake
for not
and
being
blah, blah,
born
blah.
here, but they've all lived here. They've all played around here. Kenny Morrow and Mark Wells from the Miracle team, the Olympic team in Lake Placid in 1980. Morrow's from Flint. Wells is from St. Clair Shores. I mean, we can go historically. This is Hockey Town, even though this 10-year drought is driving hockey fans crazy in the city of Detroit.
Yeah.
The history of hockey in Detroit, even Ryan Miller, East Lansing guy.
Yeah, goalie, right?
Yeah, Pat LaFontaine, obviously, from Waterford.
Yeah, I had him on my list. Yeah.
And I want to stop with Pat LaFontaine for a second because I don't know for sure. Like, I know Mike and Dan and Ryan, the LaFontaine family that runs the car dealerships, they are cousins to Pat LaFontaine.
Okay.
Because I remember Pat LaFontaine coming to our elementary school. I went to elementary with all those guys, and Pat LaFontaine came to our elementary school before he went to the Olympics, and it was a big deal. I don't know if Sean LaFontaine from Dearborn Divine Child was related to them. But if you ever got a chance to see Sean LaFontaine play high school football before he broke his neck going to the University of Michigan,
Yeah.
Sean LaFontaine was one of the greatest athletes I ever saw on a football field. I watched him play Brother Rice in either the Kickoff Classic or the end of the year, the Catholic League Championship. I watched him have 22 tackles and rush for almost 200 yards, playing both ways, middle linebacker and running back for Divine Child. Absolutely. Between him and John Miller from Farmington Harrison, if you remember John Miller, those are probably the two greatest efforts that I ever witnessed as a high school football fan on a field. Now, Tyrone Wheatley I was playing against, so it was a little different, but as a wide-eyed fan at like 10, 11, 12 years old, watching John Miller and Sean LaFontaine was like...
Did you play against Tyrone Wheatley in high school?
We would have played against each other had we not gotten beat. So we got knocked out, and we would have played them and ended
In the
up not
state
playing.
finals? Or
No,
close?
it would have been first round.
Okay.
Right, we would have been the last team in, and they
right.
they were the number 1 seed.
Okay.
So we would have had them in the first round. Guys that you played against. I mean, we both were on the field against Eric Lynch from Woodhaven, who went to Grand Valley State and played for the Lions.
Yeah.
He was a pretty special athlete.
Yeah. I'd probably say Kevin Mitchell from Saginaw Valley was one of the top running backs I went against. Just very smooth, big, just a good player.
Who was the Country Day kid who went? Did he go play for Colorado?
Went for Colorado, the 5-play drive when Colorado won the national championship, right? They got an extra
What was
play.
that kid's name?
Charles Johnson.
Charles Johnson.
Yeah.
Charles Johnson was Country Day.
Yeah. Actually, the best player on Country Day was not Charles Johnson.
Who was it?
It was this Brian, oh gosh, it was 40 years ago. They had this running back, Brian, can't think of his name.
Well, I'm going to bail you out. I'm going to give you another Detroit Country Day grad because we've been heavy on the men here. Let's go back to the women's side of this. Have you ever heard of Kate Markgraf?
No.
Okay, well, Kate went to Detroit Country Day. She went into the Soccer Hall of Fame in 2023. She won, I mean, this is ridiculous. She won the state championship, the club championship, the Division I national championship, the Olympic gold medal, and the FIFA World Cup as a soccer player. I don't think it can get any better than winning the championship at every single level you played over a 12-year career. And she got 3 Olympic medals and 3 FIFA medals over her 12-year career. Okay. She's one of the greatest defenders in women's soccer history.
And what was her name again?
Kate Markgraf.
You didn't know her either.
I had to look back down.
You had to look.
But hey, how about give me a little kudos from studying up? I'm trying to balance this thing.
It's really not studying up. It's just you know where to find shit, and it's. I don't know where you get it from.
I don't know. The WNBA got like a $3 billion TV deal. You got to get with the times, young man.
Yeah, I know.
The
story of my life. I'm never with the times.
Women's sports is a high growth side of the business here.
Didn't say it. Whoa. Don't be putting words in my mouth.
Yeah, you got a significant other who's heavily invested in women's sports. You better figure it out before. Keep the home fires burning, young man.
I know. So we're down. Are we down to the top 3? Are we?
Okay. Well, we can move into that.
We gotta be. We gotta be somewhere in there.
Do you want me to give you another real quick history bite before
Sure.
we? I'll give you a quick history bite.
I know when you study something, you like.
Well, Detroit has had a number of great Olympians, right?
Okay.
So and Mark Graf is one of them. So in addition to her, Ralph Craig, Jackson Scholes, and Eddie Tolan, who was known in his day as the Midnight Express, all sprinters who won gold medals in the Olympics multiple times. Okay. So you got multiple medal-winning sprinters, all born and raised in Detroit, with the big one being Eddie Tolan, who won the 100 and the 200, which, as you know from watching the Olympic Games, if you win the 100 and the 200, you're the fastest man alive.
Sure.
Right? So
sure.
Eddie Tolan, the Midnight Express, was the fastest man alive. On the other side of the Winter Olympics, you've got Merrill Davis and Charlie White, who won the pairs skating champion. You know, Detroit is huge for pairs skating, the Detroit Skate Club out there in Bloomfield Hills. So Merrill Davis from Royal Oak, and then recently from Ann Arbor, Evan Bates, just recently in Milan, won ice dancing. I don't know if that's a sport. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I don't know if ice dancing is exactly a sport. I think it probably is. I didn't watch it. There's a different, and where I'm going with this is not to be critical, but sometimes it's a game, and you're very good at a game and not a sport. Like chess is a game. It's not a sport, right? I would even say that golf is pretty tough to say it's a sport. I don't know how many guys are getting an aerobic sweat going when they're playing golf. It's more of a strategic game, but we allow people to call it a sport because it's freaking hard to play, right? Yes. So that's why I'm not criticizing ice dancing. I'm just saying I don't know enough about it. I'm a little ignorant to the particulars of ice dancing, right?
Understand.
The other one is Karch Kiraly. I had no idea. You remember Karch Kiraly, the volleyball
He's from
stud?
Michigan?
Jackson, Michigan. How does Karch Kiraly multiple times, I think he won 3 Olympic gold medals here. I think he won an indoor Olympic gold. I think he won the beach Olympic gold. And I think he won Olympic gold as the coach of the women's team.
No kidding.
So 3 Olympic golds across 3 decades. He was already, remember when it was him and Steve, I can't remember the guy he played with.
I think he's the coach at Long Beach now, out in California.
I remember when you and I were playing at Caseville Beach and playing beach volleyball every summer in college. Like Karch Kiraly was the guy, right? He was sponsoring everything.
Yeah.
Jackson, Michigan. How do you figure that Karch Kiraly was born and raised in Jackson, Michigan?
Have you been to Jackson?
I have.
Yeah. Not a big fan.
Well, it's a prison town.
I know. It's kind of dull.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a strip mall town.
Yeah.
We're not ripping on you know what's from Jackson, Michigan?
How would you get into beach volleyball living in Jackson, Michigan?
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. How did that happen? How is Karch Kiraly from Jackson? Somebody please call in, type in on YouTube. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Where else are we? Podbean. We're on something else.
And we're on all kinds of
We're on all the
Instagram.
Apple Podcasts. Somebody reach out and tell us why Karch Kiraly lived in Jackson, Michigan. But the other one from Jackson, Michigan, that a lot of people forget is Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy was a great athlete before he became a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah.
So there's another one. So now let's go to the top 3.
You know, Magic Johnson, obviously. I mean,
Right out. He pulls number one right out of the chutes.
That's your number one, not my
mine.
number one.
I didn't say it was mine
Well, you said it was somebody's. Whose was it?
because it might be mine. It might be mine. I wanted to hold it back.
Just his personality. I mean, playing at Michigan State, the whole Larry Bird thing, playing all those years with L.A. and
Showtime changed.
Showtime.
He changed basketball.
He did.
Larry Bird and Magic Johnson absolutely changed basketball. They changed the dollar figures. They changed the television contracts. The two of them, not just because it's a white guy and a black guy, and they were kind of friends and they were kind of frenemies. It was because they played on the two greatest teams, and they were both the best damn players in their respective conferences.
in college and in NBA.
And they carried over,
Yeah.
right, a national championship college rivalry into the pros.
Yeah.
That thing was dripping with drama between the two of them, and they were both, in their own ways, very charismatic. Bird, the surly, F you.
White boy.
Yeah, right. I'm tougher than you. But Magic with the great charisma, the big smile, the Showtime Lakers. I mean, the NBA should build statues of the two of them outside of every stadium.
Agreed.
Because the NBA was nothing in the 80s compared to what we're looking at today.
That's true. It is. I sometimes have a hard time watching the NBA a little bit. It's just very athletic, and calls that normally would be called back 30 years ago don't get called now.
Are you critical of James Harden and his phantom reactions as if he were a mime being shot multiple times?
I mean,
by an automatic weapon.
You know that I don't like any of that stuff anyway. If you go down in the court and you get up and run off, there's a problem, right? But they're teaching our kids. They're teaching our kids to do that too. You ever see kids now? They get hurt, they lay down, they don't get up.
Yeah, everybody wants to pretend.
I never laid down.
Everybody wants to play pretend. I'll stick with your NBA for a second, though, because there's a couple people I want to mention. First, I want to mention, and we talked about this with Sam Washington, Jalen Rose is one of the true Detroiters, right?
Sure.
I mean, he has worn it from the Fab Five, Detroit Southwestern, with him and Vashawn Leonard.
He's got a bookstore on 6 Mile now. Have you seen that?
He's got fashion. He's doing with Ty Mobkins, and he's got his TV show out, the Southwest High, and he's just really
He's putting in the work.
He's not just a media personality. He's like a true Detroiter who's in it for the right things. He's always behind something that seems to have positive momentum.
I would agree.
Never getting in trouble and dicking around and showing up in the wrong side of the media. So shout out to Jalen Rose. Now, I played against Jalen Rose. In football, he played free safety, and in basketball. And he did throw my shot into the bleachers, at least on one occasion. But the guy who I always tell people, one-on-one in basketball, and I was never a great basketball player, but I was good enough, was Emmanuel Bibb from Detroit Denby. People who remember the And One tour, which was like a Globetrotters tour back in the day.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Bibb from Detroit Denby was one of the most phenomenal athletes I've ever played with or against. He's only about 6'1", but he could put his elbow over the rim. He was as fast as anybody I've ever seen on a basketball court as far as handling the ball full speed. But he went up for a dunk, and I decided that I was not going to allow him to dunk. So I took off with the full intention of, if not taking his arm with me,
Taking his body with you.
we were going into the wall, right?
Yeah.
As I launched into him, he somehow grabbed my shoulder, pushed himself up even higher than he could have had he just jumped off of the ground, and dunked literally on top of me with my body cradled between his knees.
Yeah.
It was the dunk on flush job of the century, and I'll never forget.
I've been dunked on.
The athleticism
It's
of that.
no fun.
No.
But
the athleticism of Emmanuel Bibb was second to none. The other local shout out I want to give to a player that I coached is Jermaine Gonzalez, the state championship coach at Orchard Lake St. Mary's right now. When Jermaine was a player at Orchard Lake St. Mary's, before he went to the University of Michigan, he quarterbacked our undefeated state championship team. And Jermaine Gonzalez, I don't think this will ever be done again, He in the Detroit Catholic League all the way through a state championship undefeated season, he threw 28 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions in a season. He didn't throw a single pick. You would think that there'd be a tipped ball.
Sure.
Right? Somebody
Sure.
juggles one and get. He was so accurate and had such a perfect touch that Jermaine Gonzalez, as a high school athlete, to me, deserves some recognition.
It wasn't the two receivers that both ran 4.3s that
Well,
nobody could
we did have
cover.
Maurice C. Wright. That is true. That is true. Shout out to Mo C. I'm sure that he's around and deserves some recognition as well. He was with Tommy Amaker at the University of Michigan as well,
Yeah.
early on in his career. So, your number 3 is Magic Johnson.
No, my number 2.
So who was your 3?
Magic.
Is it Floyd?
Hold on. Yeah, Floyd.
Floyd Mayweather is your number 3.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson is your number 2.
Yeah.
And
You know, I got on here Joe Louis, but it says right on here that he wasn't born in Michigan.
Joe Louis was born in Alabama.
Alabama.
Joe
Yeah.
Louis was born in Alabama. So you're going to have to do some research.
I know. At the last second.
You're going to have to dig in, young man.
Let me see
While
what I
you're
got.
digging in, we're going to bring up our audience Mount Rushmores because we're at that point where we're getting down to the final couple. So it's time to bring in Josh Doherty first, then Phil Doherty to deliver in the third microphone. Come hard, come strong, be definitive, don't suck.
Okay. So I'm coming at you with a hockey player. Played for the Chicago Blackhawks. Had a stint with the Detroit Red Wings.
Okay?
Defenseman. Also played golf. Wore cowboy boots.
Oh. I heard that. I know who it is because
Yeah, you do, because it's Chris Chelios.
it's Chris
You
Chelios.
son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You told the story about the cowboy.
Oh, God, you guys set me up. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, what?
Not born in Michigan though, so you've been ham-handed, my friend. Very nice work. Very
That
nice.
was
work.
good.
Well concealed. Loved it.
I'm gonna say
The cowboy boots got me. I still didn't remember it.
For a second, when you said Blackhawks, I go, is he going Duncan Keith? Duncan Keith wasn't born in Michigan. He went to Michigan State. That's where I thought you were going.
I'm gonna say Mike Modano.
Yeah.
Mike Modano.
And
Okay, so
then Magic Johnson.
Magic
Yeah.
Johnson.
He was just incredible.
You want to throw a third in there? You want to have a top 3?
Oh man, let's see.
Modano and Irvin Magic Johnson are great picks.
I mean, some of the Olympians you were bringing up were just pretty incredible. I think that female soccer player that won.
I didn't even get to Jordan Weber. She was the gymnast from DeWitt, Michigan, who was, won everything 2010, 11, 12.
I'll go with that. What was the female soccer player that you brought up? She
Mark
won.
Graf.
Yeah, that just was incredible that she won at every level.
Yes.
I mean, just incredible.
Yes.
What a champion.
Another one, since we're on a roll, Nick Baumgartner. You ever hear of him?
No.
Snowboarder. At 40 years old, he won his first Olympic gold medal. 40 years old as a snowboarder. He also was a supercross truck champion, truck driver, and he played football at Northern Michigan.
That's a thing?
He played football, did you hear me?
No.
In the GLIAC at Northern Michigan.
I heard you.
Where
But-
Tom Izzo and Steve Mariucci played football. Another couple of
Did
Michigan
you
athletes.
say supercar truck driver?
Supercross truck driving. Super truck cross driving
that's
truck
a
cross
sport?
driving.
That's a sport?
You got a dog and a woman who left you,
And a case
and you're
of beer.
listening to Hank
And a
Williams
case of
Jr.
beer.
And that's how you do supercross truck driving.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
Let's rinse and repeat with the second half of the Doherty brother tango here. The next part of the duo, Phil. It's great to have you.
Hey, great to be here.
Long-time caller, first-time listener.
Long-time
Let's
listener.
fire it up.
Let's go. We'll do a tie for third. We'll go keep it simple here. Draymond Green, Devin Booker.
Ooh, nobody came. Nobody came up with Draymond.
No.
3-time Golden State Warrior champion from Saginaw High.
Not the greatest on his team, but greatest of a championship run. I mean,
One of the greatest defenders,
Yeah.
definitely in this era.
and then we'll go Floyd Mayweather at 2.
The tied for third?
No, I'm throwing Booker and Draymond together at 3.
Devin Booker. Okay, Grand Rapids, Devin Booker.
Both at 3.
Okay. A lot of people don't realize Devin Booker because he moved away for high school, but he was raised in Michigan in Grand Rapids, born and raised, then went to high school down in like Mississippi or Alabama or something. Great call. So then Floyd Mayweather is your number 2.
Mayweather 2, and then the Magic number 1.
Irvin Magic Johnson number 1.
Easy.
No
number
question.
1. He is your Michigan athlete GOAT.
No
All right.
question.
All right, very nice. So now, Beer Man, thank you very much, Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. Now, the final stanza. Who are your top 3? Or your Mount Rushmore, Tom Beer?
Didn't we already do this?
You got to give them to me all in a lineup now.
Oh, I mean, Magic Johnson's number 1.
Magic Johnson number 1. So
Yeah,
you're
I'm
going
gonna-
in
I'm gonna
reverse.
say Mike Madonna's-
I like how you fucked up this whole thing from the word go. I
Yeah.
like it. Let's go back. Let's do it in reverse.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah. Well, which way are you going? You going
Now I'm
top
going down
or
from top-
fucking
now-
top bottom up?
Now I'm going top down. Magic Johnson is your number 1 Michigan athlete of all time.
Yeah, I
Who's
gotta
your
say,
number 2?
I gotta say, Mike Madonna's right in there too.
Mike
I think
Madonna.
he's in my top 3. 8 All-Star games, played 20 years, and then whatever he did, 25 years in the NHL.
Played a long time in the NHL. Finished at Detroit Red Wings.
And he's local.
And he's
a local guy.
And he agreed across the board. And your number 3?
Probably Delamineur.
Delamalure. You're going to
Yeah.
go with the football player.
Yeah, you got to have a football player in there.
You're going to go with the football player. All right. It's my turn. I'm going to think about this. I'm not going to knee-jerk react because I got a couple that I'm torn on. The one that I'm going to give you 2 that haven't been mentioned. I've been saving them. And we talked a little bit about basketball players that the outstate guys. Thunder Dan Marley, the Phoenix Suns. I loved Thunder Dan Marley. He's one that I really liked. Antonio Gates is from Detroit, one of the greatest tight ends in the history of football. Right, he's going to be right up there with Tony Gonzalez at the end of the day. Jerome Bettis, the Bus was one of the greatest running backs in history, both in yards and in kind of the persona of the running back position, just a punisher. But I'm going to go at number 3 with George the Iceman Gervin. I think George Gervin and the finger roll being one of the signature moves in the history of basketball makes him worthy of mention at the top of the list. Plus, I just think that NBA basketball players and maybe boxers are a different level of athlete than some of the rest of them. The size, the speed. For me, athleticism, the NBA basketball player might be the pinnacle of athleticism in a lot of cases.
No question.
So that's my number 3. I'm going to go with Floyd Mayweather, who's arguably the greatest boxer of all time, as my number 2. And anticlimactically, I'm going to go with Irvin Magic Johnson.
Yeah, how can you not?
As my number 1.
How can you not?
He is the Michigan GOAT. Is there anybody else you want to mention? We didn't mention Brandon Graham.
Yeah, there's
a
a
nice
lot.
player,
There's a lot
Philadelphia
of other
Eagle.
ones, but
Nobody else rang the bell for you?
Not that are in the top 10.
Dave DeBuscher, Chris Webber. You didn't love Chris Webber?
I did. I saw him play
Another
at
Country Day boy?
I saw him play at Country Day when he was in high school. No, that's about it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's what you're going
I'm done.
with. That's what you're going with. All right. So the GOAT list has been summarized. We are going to be back at you in the studio for the next couple of episodes in Brighton, Michigan at Speakeasy. We'll be back here at the Downtown Pourhouse on Freilich in downtown Plymouth at the 3rd Thursday in the month of June. We will be there. I will be a year older then because at midnight tonight, I turn 50 for the 3rd time. And I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be the best of the 3.
I can tell you're ready to go.
This particular year.
Yeah, I can tell you're ready to
I'm
go.
going to color my beard a whole different shade.
Oh, do you
I'm going
color?
darker. I'm going to go
Are you?
full. I'm going to go dark beard coverage for the next year.
Doesn't work though. We're gonna dark what?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
With that red hair
You'll find out. You'll be the first to know.
You're gonna have red hair and a brown beard.
You'll be first to know, you sandbagging son of a bitch, you. So it was John Pelon at Patrick Financial Group. It was James Sullivan at ATS Advisors. They helped us bring this to you at the Downtown Pourhouse. And until we see you again, be the GOAT at whatever it is that you're doing today.